Good morning, afternoon, evening, and good dawn, guys. This is your boy Cyphrix, and I gotta say, Gunfire Games didn't waste any time putting out some teaser crumbs for the next installment to the Remnant franchise. However, I know a lot of people are looking at the new trailer like, what the hell is even that? From the graphic style to the random 80s girl who looks like she's a missing Stranger Things extra, this trailer does extremely little to explain itself. For those of you confused, let's just say Remnant wasn't the first Remnant game, and I'll explain what I mean in just a second.
Don't pause. Press play.
Hey guys, thanks so much for dropping by, and if you find yourself enjoying what I do here, I urge and encourage you to drop a like for my efforts and future shenanigans. It helps immensely, and I thank you for your time. So to explain this trailer, let's start with Chronos VR, an early Oculus Rift game done by your boys at Gunfire back in 2016. As you can see, the game looks almost identical to the 2020 Chronos trailer. This is the original entry to what would later be known as the Remnant universe. You play a young boy lost in a labyrinth fighting his way out, and yes, fellow lost souls, it is indeed the same labyrinth we've known and come to love. Chronos, having a name that has a lot to do with the passage of time, has a really cool death mechanic that drastically affects your character gameplay. When you die in Chronos, your character comes back a year older. When you start, your character is young, fast, tough, and basically perfect for melee brawler style combat. As you die in age, your character will slowly shift towards being more wise and frail, having higher intellect and a higher proficiency for magic. Sounds kinda strange, right? Notice how Chronos has 0 guns. Range gameplay basically is gonna revolve around magic use, and that's it. So if you're like an amazing player, you'll probably complete the game young, strong, and again, mostly melee. While filthy casuals like myself will be withered old farts before the mid-game even comes around. While this sounds weird, and we're all familiar with Gunfire's love of puzzles, this could mean that there are gonna be tons of puzzles and unlocks that depend upon your character's age and abilities and skill set. Okay, so taking a pause, now that we know where we are, it's good to also know when we are. Chronos is a re-release of Chronos VR and was already an official prequel to Remnant, taking place just a few short months before the events in Remnant from the Ashes. Lore-wise, I imagine the Root were not as big a problem, and the humans had not yet done their damage with the Dreamers that set the Root loose on humanity to the degree present in Remnant. If anything, Chronos looks like it's more focused on Yesha. Graphics-wise, we already see an improvement between the two trailers. To be honest, Remnant even on PC max settings never felt jaw-dropping, so I'm not entirely angry at the graphical difference. In fact, my inner coward is downright happy at the toning down of the scare factor, but my inner masochist is kinda cringing. This looks almost like Remnant and Breath of the Wild had a baby and it probably had it adopted by Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. There's just a welcoming focus on adventure and exploration that Remnant has in droves, but usually covers with a slathering of supernatural horror shenanigans and monsters that constantly want to rip my face off. With the December release date and the trailer looking as it is right now, I'm torn as to whether I should believe this trailer was just a nod and wink to the past and they'll use Remnant's horror graphics, or should I believe that they will stick with an updated version of Chronos VR. Either way, I enjoy a good dungeon grinder and I look forward to it. Also, just to note, when I say horror graphics, I'm not trying to rag on Remnant. I love the game. It's just... the game is scarier. It literally scares the shit out of me. It scared me then, it scares me now. I hate when those purpley things jump out at you in courses. The game is scary to me. So yeah, horror graphics. Now before I'm done, I absolutely must touch on my conspiracy theory on this trailer. Those of you who are just coming for a few details on the game, hey, you can leave. I want to respect your time. Those of you who come for my shenanigans, sit tight, let's dive into this. Do a search on Chronos Before The Ashes and you'll get a barrage of hate for the video's style and confusing message. I was thinking this could possibly be indicative of Gunfire's relationship to THQ Nordic, who worked with the former to produce the re-release of Darksiders 2 in 2015. THQ Nordic would fully acquire Gunfire in August of 2019, just 2 short months before Remnant's release. For a lot of people, it seemed really rushed. There were bugs and less than desirable graphics indicative of a rushed schedule, but core gameplay and mechanics quickly made Remnant one of 2019's hidden gems of the year. In this trailer for Chronos, we see a young girl eagerly rushing to her room to plug in and play Chronos, possibly one of her favorite games since we see a poster dead center above the TV. She plugs in and plays with rapt attention until her mom calls her, demanding she come downstairs before she can continue with her game, something we can all relate to. I can only imagine this is some sort of reverse viral marketing trailer where 1. Gunfire was told to poop out a Chronos trailer ASAP while buzz of their recent and last Remnant DLC still hovered around the internet. 2. I imagine Gunfire was hesitant to do this because they might not even have proper footage yet. They're probably just doing a full graphic reskin of the game while introducing some Remnant quality of life upgrades, and I imagine that takes a second to do. With the December release date hovering over their heads, every resource and second matters. Like with any investor, you do what's best to keep them happy and put together something that is just enough to create more buzz. Enter what looks like the world's worst possible trailer, where Gunfire 3 inserts small nods and winks that scream, "Yes, we know this is premature," i.e. a parent company, THQ Mummy, telling little Gigi that dinner is ready and she needs to come down now, aka shit out a trailer ASAP, I don't care how you do it. And best of all, at least for me, is how Gigi has to sit there at the table saying, "Dinner's not even ready," thinking about what she could be doing on the game instead of coming down here so early that it feels pointless. It all feels like, a subtext for Gunfire that lets fans know that they know the trailer makes no sense and that's the point. It's way too early for them to have anything of substance for us, so here's a little teaser trailer that's just enough to rise attention but also confusing enough to keep them on our minds for a little while. Marketing schemes show that people don't need to necessarily like you or understand you to buy you. They just need to talk about you more than the other guy, and talking we are. So that's just my opinion, my 2 cents, my take on things. I hope I don't sound too crazy. If you had fun, remember to like and subscribe for more content on Remnant and Chronos, among other ARPGs and shenanigans. Let me know your thoughts down below, and as always, love, peace, and elevate your hunch, y'all. Lates.